set for this debate, and let's do it.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say welcome to our guests. I can see on the panel tonight, we have all A's, Ansoni, Anthony, and Authur. I'm the only D, and that's getting me a little uneasy, but let's go to the debate. It's on Proposition 1. On December 8th, 3 ballot items will be on the ballot, on the referendum. One of it is to extend the term, or to move the time for election from October to November due to the rainy season. The second one is to reduce the term of office for the president from 6 years to 5 years, senators from 9 years to 7 years, and representative from 6 years to 5 years. The main one we're going to be talking about tonight is the one on dual citizenship. Liberians that are in other countries that took on the citizenship of other countries, upon doing that, they have lost their Liberian citizenship. The way to get it back is for the dual citizenship bill. So for some time now, this has been the work mainly from people in the diaspora. Now it is on the ballot and it's going to be voted on. Tonight, we're going to be debating that. One person say, let's vote no. The other person say, vote yes. We want to welcome our viewers from across the globe, and we want to welcome again our debaters or the panelists tonight. First, the former secretary of ULA, that's the Union of Liberian Associations in the America, the man that went against in the election, and he said, I got some whipping. He called it shellacking. Mr. Authur Weah. Mr. Do, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. John.
I also want to welcome the former president of ULA, that's the Union of the Liberian Association in the Americas, also former board chairman, also former president of the University of Liberia Student Union, also on the university campus, they call him veteran. In ULA cycle, they call him eminent, Mr. Anthony V. Kesselly. Mr. Kesselly, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Very, very pleased to be with you tonight.
Thank you. It's debate time. This is a special debate. And who better kick this off than my political bulldog right here on Focus on Liberia, the man who eats, drink, and sleep politics. He follows Liberia issues very judiciously, and so he's on top of everything. Mr. Ansoni Sia.
Mr. Donajad, I think you are blowing my trumpet so high. But I'll leave it there. We are here for the debate, a debate between His Eminent and also Mr. Authur Weah. And this debate is about Proposition 1. Mr. Weah is saying we should vote no on Proposition 1, which is the dual citizenship proposal, while His Eminent Anthony Kesselly is saying, let us vote yes on the proposition. So that is the disagreement that we have here. And that's why the debate is intended. Without much ado, Dennis, we will now get to our debaters tonight for their opening statement. And in your opening statement, you're going to tell us why you want us to vote yes or no. Let's start with Mr. Authur Weah, who is saying we should vote no. Mr. Do, why are you saying no to this proposal that is intended to allow Liberians to have dual citizenship, something that many people are enjoying today?
Mr. CA, thank you so much, and thanks to Mr. John. Thanks to the FOL family for affording me the opportunity to be on your platform tonight to discuss some very burning issue of my country, the Republic of Liberia. I said, vote no to Proposition 1. But let me just make this clarification very quick before we go to the Proposition 1. Dual citizenship and Proposition 1. I am not against dual citizenship, but I am against the bill. That Proposition 1 that is in the referendum that was not vetted properly, that did not enjoy the input of citizens of the Republic of Liberia, even those that are in the diaspora, did not enjoy their input, And with the litany of restrictions in the bill, in that proposition one, it is not what we discussed. We came to an agreement to during the inception of our advocacy for dual citizenship. So that is why I'm saying no and other reasons as we go into the debate tonight. Thank you, Mr. Jack.
All right, Mr. Authur, we are done there with his opening statement why he is advocating for a no vote on Proposition 1. His Eminent Kesselly, why are you asking Liberians to vote yes on the proposition?
Thank you very much. And the debate was described as a very special one. And more than anyone else, I know it was special because I just got the invite about 30 minutes or so ago. Nevertheless, we are always prepared to speak on this topic, whether we are in the depth of sleep. I think it is only rational, pragmatic in terms of strategy that this proposition goes through. We have been firebrand militants on campuses. You know that history. Idealistic. Either give me this or nothing. Over time, we have grown. Circumstances, events that have evolved have shaped us to much more, potent fighters for anything we stand for. We have come to realize that many times what you are fighting for, you may not get absolutely all at once. So you always have to have plan 1, plan 2, or plan A, plan B, etc. I see this debate as not an acrimonious one. Let me say that. My own mayor, Weah just said that he's not opposed to dual citizenship. And that's where my fear is. My fear is those of us who have fought for dual citizenship over the years will, on this matter of strategy, defeat our purpose for which we have fought for so long. That is, you support dual citizenship. The proposition basically answers the question of dual citizenship. That's why I think we should support it. It basically, and we will go into the details. I will come up with benefits that we will have when the proposition is passed, and benefits that we don't have now and we will never have if the proposition is not passed. We will go into the details of that.
Thank you.
My thinking is when you are fighting a battle, you don't fight an absolutist battle to say, okay, I'm going either I advance and kill everybody or they advance and kill all my people. Sometimes they kill some of your people, you take a tactical retreat, you reinforce, you come back, you attack. That's how you fight battle. That is the basis. Nobody from my angle likes or favors the colossal restrictions that are imposed in there. Nobody. But the question is, how do we advance? And I think that's what the meat of this debate will be for tonight.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Anthony Kesselly, on your opening statement. Let me come to Mr. Weah. Mr. Doe, the article which is the basis for this Proposition 1 in this debate is Article 28. You are saying that Liberians should vote no. That presupposes to some extent that there is nothing wrong with that article, Article 28, in terms of dual citizenship that all Liberians, in my opinion, are desirous of. If that holds true in your opinion, then why are you against this particular article from being changed?
Article 28 is a clear one, and that is why I am fighting very hard not to even play with that article. I'm fighting very hard not to play with that article. Yes, the article it reads: any person, at least one of whose parents was citizen of Liberia. Any person, at least one of whose parents was a citizen at the time of the person's birth. They ain't talking about two parents, so they ain't talking about, I thought we had two parents from the crew and the Riverside Crown or granted there. That particular provision of the article, the reading of that particular article is talking about, I thought we had to marry to a foreigner. And that person, we got a child. And that particular child is our child. And for the fact that the child is our child, we have to give the child the benefit of the doubt. If the child reaches maturity, he or she can choose to be a Liberian or not to be a Liberian. Not to be a Liberian. Now, we are leaving this article, or we are on this article, and we said, no, it is not sufficient. It is not sufficient at all. But what we need is we will put a litany of issues in there so that we can get a dual citizenship.
Mr.
People advance.
Mr. Doe, if I may interject, are you trying to say that there is nothing in this article that restricts a Liberian that obtained another citizenship from enjoying all the right thereof for a Liberian citizen or of a Liberian citizen?
The article went further to say that if a person acquire another citizenship in order to enjoy the citizenship of the original country, you should do A, B, and C.
Okay.
However, within the Constitution, it says, it talks about an inalienable rights of Liberians. We natural born Liberians. It's not talking about who parents were of different nationality or different citizenship. It didn't say so.
So in essence, the amendment that's being proposed to bring about dual citizenship, this particular article is not the place to look. Is that what you're saying?
No, you don't look at this particular article, because this particular article here tells me or Kesselly or you, say, look, if you want to do A, all right, and we are in the framework of A, and you want to go to B, you got to relinquish one of them.
Okay.
But the statute that really we were supposed to be dealing with, which was the original intent, we're supposed to be dealing with the Alien and Nationality Act, which we will come to later.
Yes.
And the new proposition did not even make mention about repealing the Alien Nationality Act at all. It didn't make mention of it. So it means that we will stay hold on the Alien Nationality Act that all of us, that deprive us, will stay hold, it will still be in, it will still be on our books.
Thank you, Mr. Doe. I will bring in my partner, Dennis Jad. So what you are saying is that it is the Alien and Nationality law that is depriving Liberians of maintaining dual citizenship and not Article 28. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Jad.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We're having a debate on Proposition 1. So let's start like this, and thank you, Mr. Weah, for that clarification. Let's start from the basic. We say this is Proposition 1. So for the basis, for the benefit of our audience, let us, if you can put Proposition 1 on the board,
right,
on the screen there, so that we can start from there and see why each of our debaters tonight is taking the position they are taking, so we can go through with why. we see that Article 28, which talk about dual the national citizenship. Now we have the preposition, and it reads, any person, at least one of whose parent was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth, shall be a citizen of Liberia, provided that any such person shall, upon reaching maturity, renounce any other citizenship acquired by virtue of one parent being a citizen of another. No citizen of Liberia shall be deprived of citizenship or nationality except as provided by law, and no person shall be denied the right to change citizenship or nationality. That's Article 28. Mm-hmm. Then we come to the preposition. Can you put on the preposition on the board?
Yes, I'm doing that now. All right, go for it.
Now, the preposition now reads, I still have the...
Yeah, go for it. It's on the screen. Or I'll read it because it might take some time to
go
get
ahead.
there. Let me read it. It says, when amended to read, any person, at least one of whose parents was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth, shall be a natural-born citizen of Liberia. A natural-born citizen's right to citizenship of Liberia is inherent and inalienable. No law shall be enacted or regulation promulgated which deprived a natural-born citizen of the Republic of his or her citizenship right. And any law or regulation which alienates or deprived a natural-born citizen of Liberia, a natural-born citizen of his or her Liberian citizenship right is null and void. That is the reading of the amended version of Article 28. Dennis.
So let's go back to our panelists and see, that's the preposition. Mr. Kesselly, why do you support this preposition? And then we'll go to Mr. Doe, why not? Based on the reading we've just heard.
Thank you. I think you just heard a definitive squashing of that attempt to take away the natural born citizenship of any Liberian in the proposition. It kills any further attempt at any other point. It's very definite, very clear. That is it. But let me get to this point. I think my brother Doe is 10 or 15 years behind in this debate about dual citizenship. He is today where we were 10 or about 12 years ago, because we've come from step to step. The first place we started was, look, the Alien and Nationality Law was enacted when? 1973. Again approved 1974. The Constitution came into force when? 1986. The Constitution is the supreme law. Any law that stands contrary to it is null and void. Our first line of battle was, look, why didn't they throw that Alien Nationality Law in the trash? Because the Constitution of 1986, takes preference or precedence. Legal scholars went and told us, no, that Article 28 that the brother just quoted, in fact, validated the Alien and Nationality Law by showing a language and spirit that is against people holding two citizenship after maturity. The message is there, it's not expressed directly, but if you have one of your parents is not there when you reach the age you have to decide, that tells you, we will not accept this. You can't continue. So the intent of the Constitution is actually saying, we don't want dual citizenship. We tolerate it when you are a minor. By the time you become of age, you have to renounce it. That constitution, therefore, validated that I can say, bad alien and nationality law, which clearly spell out how you lose your citizenship. And the other portion you read, nobody's citizenship shall be taken. They say except by law. Okay? So it tells you it can be taken away, but except by a law prescribed. If the alien nationality law is still valid, my people, natural born Liberians who naturalize in other countries have no class. They are not considered. My brother wrote that they are placing these natural born Liberians who naturalize elsewhere at the feet of naturalized Liberians. That's where we are right now. We're not even at the feet. We're under the ground. Those who have naturalized. Anyway, I have never naturalized. I have my green card. I'm not a citizen of any other country. Let me make that clarification. I'm only in this battle because I believe in it. So right now, foreigners, somebody who came from Nigeria and naturalized in Liberia today and clear everything, if you went there and they prove that you are a citizen of the United States or elsewhere, even though you are natural born, the foreigner who came and became naturalized will vote and you are not supposed to vote. But we are enjoying this thing because there is lack of enforcement that is going on currently. Except you become a threat to somebody before they will go into your citizenship. Otherwise, people take their passport, go hide it, take Liberian passport, go to Morovia, do anything they feel like doing, and they feel
Mr. Kesselly,
that is, yeah.
If I may, the article that we read and that you are quoting also, I like the part that you brought up, that the citizenship cannot be taken except by law.
Yes.
So that is the Constitution. Yeah, that's the Constitution trying to point to the option available through which one's citizenship can be taken away. I can't think of any other law other than the alien and nationality law. So why couldn't you go to the alien and nationality law to repeal it and you are coming to the Constitution?
I am very sorry. We are trying to do this thing in a compact way. Okay. I was just dealing with the first approach we started with.
Okay.
The second approach was, okay, we have to repeal this alien nationality law where Mr. Doe is today. Go ask former Senator Kupi, former Senator Cletus Watterson. They were our champions in the legislature that time. A draft was written about the repeal of that law. We had it all in EULA. Kupi came to America. We talked about it. How they were going to repeal that thing. Then people came and said, look, you can repeal anything down there, but Article 28 in the Constitution stands against dual citizenship, essentially. So it still will not help because that's a subordinate law.
Okay.
What we need to do is to attack it where the root is, in the Constitution. So that repeal of alien act is a long time battle we fought. We had draft, we had legislators, Joy Howard Taylor, all these people at that time. So to come today, and that what I wrote, I said, well, you're showing maybe deficit in information about our history on this thing. That's where we were. We fought for the repeal. People told us no. When Jallo undertook his own, we supported him. EULA contributed money to him. We lobbied for him. You can ask him. We said anything that removes this pillar under the anti-dual citizenship, we will fight it. We will support it. He went on his path. It didn't get him what he wanted. It told him, you got due process. So we went to that. We fought that battle before. To answer your question more directly, we fought. It was a long period. We were about repealing the alien nationality law. And people told us it will not solve the problem once the Constitution itself stands clearly against dual citizenship. That's why we finally went to it. And then the draft we carried, they didn't have those restrictions.
All right.
We'll come to the restrictions.
Okay, all right.
We'll come to the restrictions. Let Authur come in. Authur, what in the proposition that make you say we should vote no? And you can respond to Mr. Kesselly as well.
In the first place, Mr. John, I've been saying it over and over that when a country goes through war and when they are putting the broken pieces together, they depend on all of her human resources, whether in the homeland or abroad. And this particular proposition, it has litany of restrictions in there. Of course, if you want dual citizenship, you have to have restriction, but you don't fight for things that have to do with dividing, creating division amongst Liberians. Most especially, you are discussing the issue of citizenship that is not easy. It's not like you going to buy some tomato in the market. The issue of citizenship throughout the world, even in the great America that we live, Barack Obama couldn't touch it. Ellie Johnson Sirleaf couldn't even touch it because she knows. My eminent who is on this platform tonight, he was a policy maker with the vice president for those protracted years.
Policy maker?
And that the title we are. That the title they were all what the internet.
Advisor.
Policy advisor. Policy advisor.
Totally.
Okay, thank you for the correction. Policy advisor for those protracted years. All right? For the protracted years. He enjoyed the sweetheart for those years. And now he is not coming to support it. He talked about alien nationality, and he lobbied that people told them that they shouldn't even touch that because it will embarrass them in the future. But that is, I don't want to say a blatant, but that's not true. If that was the case, the Supreme Court would not have used it in the Jado case. It would not have used it. That alien nationality are still alive. It's still alive. It will show faces throughout our legal terrain. It will show faces. It will come up. It just came just recently in the Jalo case. 22.1, 22.1, and 22. It talked about it in the Jalo case just recently. Because why? We didn't do due diligence to ourselves in our advocacy.
Mr. Weah, the Article 28, the proposer, the amended version reads, no law shall be enacted or regulation promulgated which deprive a natural-born citizen of the Republic of his or her citizenship right. No law. So Mr. Kesselly is saying if this is passed, it will more than kick away the alien and nationality law because it's saying no law, and that is the Constitution they are changing to read with the language that I just read. How in any way does this not take care of the alien and nationality law that you are fearing will show it ugly faces according to your words?
But yes, the thing. Here is the thing. The previous article, the current Article 28, it says we have our inalienable rights. Inalienable rights. The current Constitution, Article 28, inalienable rights.
Yes.
It means that No other law. But yet and still, December 2029, the Alien and Nationality Law passed in. The Constitution protected us with natural born. You will not insert natural born in the Constitution before you say, oh yeah, it is. And you went further to put in there a litany of restrictions.
Right.
You went further to put in a litany of restrictions. Then you say we should accept it.
So, Mr. Doe, just to be clear, why are you saying we should vote no? Is it because of the restriction, or what's your reason?
I said we should vote no. The restrictions are some of the reasons. And furthermore, the Alien and Nationality laws still exist. It is not reflected in there. Naturalized Liberian, those who are naturalized in the country. For example, bro, and Mr. Ja, 2016, we represented, we went to a homecoming in Liberia. A Nigerian man, a Ghanaian, three Nigerians and a Ghanaian, they came to me. They said, oh, but man, because we make our presentation about the dual citizenship. He said, oh, but man, we can help you. Me, I know we are doing, you can't help me. My country, for me to be a citizen of my country, you tell me you can't help me. But that was an insult to me. It is from whence I said, we want dual citizenship, all right? We want dual citizenship, and whatsoever law that is on the book currently, even though it doesn't touch anything that we do, the proponent of dual citizenship, the support of dual citizenship, are arguing also that it will bring investment to the country. But he asked all of the proponents of that dual citizenship thing, that particular law in the Constitution that they're proposing, one of them have not done investment in the country yet. These people should not be
so, Mr. Doe,
us to somewhere where you will create division in the country, taking into consideration, not taking into consideration all of the counties.
So, Mr. Doe, Mr. Kesselly, before you come in, besides the restriction, you said what in the the Alien and Nationality Law of 1974 that will still suffice after this amendment is passed?
Of course, yes.
What provision of that Alien Nationality Law that's going to still take
the current one? The current one suffices in 2019 during the Jallo case. It was clear in the judgment.
After Prop 1 is passed, what about the nationality law that is still going to be effective?
That is why the proposition was not crafted well. The strategy that was used, it was poor and lazy. The strategy did not reach out to county organizations in the diaspora. The strategy did not reach. It was done in secrecy all along.
Strategy. I'm talking about.
My man, listen.
Vote yes, if yes, vote. And Prop 1 is now law. What in the nationality law that is still going to take precedence over the amended Article 28?
That is why I don't even want for Prop 1 to go. I don't want for 1 to go. If I make any statement,
answering the question, which provision, all right, in the Alien Nationality Law that will still stand when Article 28 is amended? That's why we are asking you, because you said it earlier. It will stay show face. You use the word
everything in the Alien registration, everything in the Alien Nationality Act will still stand.
When in fact the amended
it's not repealed.
Said that no law, no regulation whatsoever. And you think it was
my man? You got to repeal. You got to repeal something. You got to physically repeal something. You got to repeal something so that it cannot pop up again.
Thank you, Mr. Doe. Thank you, Mr. Doe. Let's come to Mr. Kesselly. And Mr. Kesselly, before you come in, let me read something for our audience, because those who are saying we should vote no to the proposal, one of their major reasons for opposing this proposition is the issue of restriction. So let me
read
the only
reason. There's not one of. That's the only reason.
The restriction, and then you can come in to respond. And the
No other
restrictions,
reason.
the restriction here we have on the screen, folks, a natural-born citizen of Liberia may hold another/additional citizenship, but shall not qualify for elected national public service positions and the following appointed positions. Number 1, Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Cabinet Ministers and Deputy Ministers, all heads of autonomous commissions, agencies, and non-academic research scientific institutions, ambassadors, extraordinary and plenipotentiaries, and Chief of Staff and Deputy Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Many people look at these things and say, no, this is not fair. And the Constitution talking about inalienable right. Does that mean that when this thing passes, these people will not enjoy this right?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, but before I get to that,
right.
There's this fantasy with the word inalienable.
Yeah.
Our fundamental right, our this. People are fantasizing with it. What is the most precious thing that we have? Before you become a Liberian, and you must be alive, you must be living.
Yep.
I mean, is that not right? Your life, you must have life. Nobody should take life from you. There is a law that tells what can make them take your life away. You can be executed for doing certain things. So what about this citizenship? Like nothing supposed to take it from you. It's inalienable. They say it's inalienable, but don't do this. If you do this, it will be taken. Just like your life. Think about life. Forget about citizenship. You are sent to the gallows and hung and killed. Your life is taken away because you did X, Y, Z. Then people can talk about, citizenship, they're not supposed to take it. It can be taken away if there is a law that is in effect that says if you do this, and you go and do those, it can be taken away. It's legal. It's constitutional. So let's start fantasizing about that inalienable and fundamental and this and that. Now, you were saying, I just wanted to bring that in because people just go and make like citizenship like nothing on earth supposed to take it. If there are certain things you are not supposed to do, you do them. You are a convict. You can't vote. You are dead. You can certain rights, inalienable rights are taken, but they are taken based on cause and has to be proven with due process thanks to the Supreme Court ruling. Okay? Now, you talk about the only dual citizenship, that bill, that proposition, if it passes, the only question that's going to remain is the restriction. Why I can't run? Why I can't hold a government position? That's the only problem that remains. You will be able, you will be citizen of Liberia and at the same time citizen of the United States or wherever. You can own real estate property. You can inherit. Your sibling they get your naturalization by America. You're fighting over your fatherland to pass it on. You are disowned if it is noticed that you are a citizen of another country because you can't own land in Liberia. That will go away.
Mr. Kesselly, are all citizens equal?
So excuse me?
Are all citizens equal?
All citizens are equal if they all remain at the same level.
What does that mean?
You are a citizen, you can vote, I can vote. If you become a convict, they take that your only right away. You can't vote.
But acquiring another citizenship is not a crime.
Yeah,
being a convict means you are a criminal.
The law makes it an offense and gives its penalty.
Okay.
You see, you can't, all of them are in the law books. Okay? They are in the law books. They were passed almost the same way. So you can't take one and say they want the law, they want the not crime. No, the penalties were there. And I don't want to make it like I'm supporting any of these penalties in terms of restriction. I got my own concept. And we in EULA, we knew that dual citizenship proposition was not going to pass with absolutely no restriction. Because after all,
where you came up with that?
Oh, because I see precedent in many majority of countries that accept it, and as someone who got on the ground, almost all the radio stations over there have appeared in them. I've appeared in Hatay shops in debate on the dual citizenship. I've challenged big people who've gone to Hatay shop, CO, Fobel, the village, all these places, and the radio stations, Voice FM, when Costa was on at that time, Fabric Radio, as Julius J. and Solomon were there, Truth FM, I've appeared over and over. And I see the resentment that people have. We went to the conference in Banga, the Constitutional Review Conference.
So you have to modify why you actually intended because other people resented that?
Well, I'm not the only citizen of Liberia, okay?
When I say I'm talking about those of you who have been advocating for this very good initiative.
Yeah. What's the question?
I said because people have been resenting it, you appear everywhere possible, and people resented the proposal as it was originally crafted without restriction. And so because of that resentment, you wanted a dual citizenship anyway, so you got told and say, okay, we'll put restriction. Is that what you guys doing here? Because
we didn't put restriction. No.
That's the war strategy earlier. So this is your strategy.
Correct yourself. Correct yourself.
All right.
The restrictions, when you hear your bill, you get to the Senate or whatever. Then now you go in there again, go sit down and say, okay, I move the one, I put the one.
Okay.
They revise it and put it in their language that they can pass. We didn't go sit down there.
So they are deciding for you what you should want and should take, and now you deciding what you should want and take.
Excuse me?
They are now deciding for you how the bill should be and not what you intended, and you agree to that. Is that
and when it's done with A, you either agree with A or don't agree with A. You don't go and say, okay, you put the restriction and this. It's their property. They are debating on the floor. Then now you sitting down there telling them, okay, you put the one, you move the one. It's the senators and the other legislators that are working on the
What do you mean by it is their property?
No.
I just say it looks like it's their property. I mean, let's not hang on semantics here again. Okay. It becomes the property of like the Senate. If you want me to use that. Okay. It's not negative word. Okay. It's they who work on it. Mama, you like it or not, you are not senator, I am not senator. They were elected and sent there. You were not, I was not.
And who sent them there, Mr. Kesselly? The Liberian people sent them there. They are there to do what the Liberian people want and not what they want.
How sure are you there for? How sure are you there for?
We shouldn't deviate.
Your position is what the majority of Liberians support. You can go there and say, you the Liberian people, because Anthony Kesselly went there and said, what referendum did we have on our draft before we went there? That people like Liberian people versus this. You know, we have to be rational in this. You carry a proposal based on a following, you are lobbying. You feel that this will be good for the country. The other questions are citizens just like you, my brother. They have a different view. You have to have a place to absorb that too.
His Eminence, according to my research here, our research here, I focus on Liberia. The nation Israel, biblically, people say Liberia is like Israel. Israel does not have any restriction based on our research. Why couldn't you guys come up with this thing without restriction? That's the right thing to do.
Okay. No, don't say why you couldn't. Say why didn't you replace the senators and become the senators and do what you wanted to do? Maybe that's what you're saying.
Because you sent a request and the senators are changing. The senators or the lawmakers are changing why you wanted. And so they gave you something that you didn't want and you taking it, you're running away.
No. They didn't give me something I didn't want. Firstly, I told you when we were going there, we knew there would be some restrictions, but we were not going to propose that.
Right.
Okay. The other side, I mean, it's a give and take. You like it or not, you can be a fanatic and say, well, I'm bringing this. You either take it or you don't take it.
All right.
And that's not my approach. You are citizen, I'm citizen. We look at it from a different angle.
Right.
My thinking is This one will significantly give us a ground indoor and strengthen our power to fight more than where we are right now. Where after we are doing this, they will take the Liberians and put them. The question I have for them: where are those Liberians today? Where do they stand? Nowhere. Zero.
Thank you, Mr. Kesselly.
Discrimination. My question to him is does the alien nationality law as it stands, do you recognize that the division you're talking about is even graver now than it will be after the proposition is passed?
Thank you, Mr. Kesselly. Let me come to Mr. Doe.
Closed a little bit.
I wanted to come to Mr. Doe. You hold on a little bit, Mr. Kesselly. Mr. Doe, I want you to pay attention carefully as I read this to you, because one of your cardinal reasons for opposing Proposition 1 is the issue of restriction for jobs. All right? But in the very proposition, there is an option for these very restrictions that are laid out in the proposition for people to find a way out. And let me read that for you.
Yes,
it said,
thank you.
A Liberian with dual citizenship shall have certain rights, including the right to hold elective, national and public service positions and all appointed positions if he relinquishes the other citizenship. So
yes.
It is not black and white that in
thank you.
As you are like, you hold
thank you.
other citizenship, you will never and ever, if you decide that you want to work as an elective official of government, you can relinquish that other citizenship and then you will be elected and then you will be appointed. So there's a way out. So why are you objecting to this?
They are hiding that part.
Mr. Osie, every law has it. There's a way out of every law. Liberians don't need to go through natural born Liberians. Liberians don't need to go through all of these natural born Liberians. They don't. We have a law, the current constitution, Article 28, also provides a way out. You don't have to insert natural born in there before. I continue to say,
please put that
apart from the alien and nationality, apart from the restrictions, even though the restriction didn't even talk about president and vice president. I don't know as to whether it is considered that dual citizens can be vice president and vice president, because this particular proposition here, it didn't talk about it, but I know it talked about it. But because of the rush,
the elective office, president and vice president, the elective office.
Hold on, Mr. Kesselly.
Okay, sorry.
What is that?
Mr. Doe?
It's just a point of correction. Sorry.
Mr. Doe, if you did lose your string of thought, let me bring this to you. Maybe it will get you adjusted. So the other provision I was reading in the proposal, it further says here that the legislature shall enact laws on the process by which natural born citizens of Liberia who have obtained additional citizenship will maintain all of the rights pertaining to their Liberian citizenship. So they are also saying in the proposition, if you relinquish your other citizenship, you will be qualified to be elected and be appointed. And they went further by saying the legislature will enact laws, therefore, through which this process can be realized. And you still saying no. Why?
I'm having difficulty listening to you because the call was coming in here.
That's what I was saying. He's not hearing you.
Oh, he's not hearing us.
Someone called you, and that's why.
The call was going to him. That's why he said.
Yeah, so Mr. Doe, you can leave and come right back, and we will admit you, and that should be able to take care of it.
Okay,
Mr. Jai told you.
All right, Mr. Kesselly, I have a question here for you. And first of all, you were talking about the restriction.
Yeah.
Do you like the restrictions?
I answered that many times. For redundancy, I said we didn't support any restriction.
No, as of today.
Me, I will never like the restrictions.
So why do you want us to vote yes with those restrictions?
Because the essence of the real fight, dual citizenship, there are many other benefits you get other than those positions listed and so far. We shouldn't think that dual citizenship benefit is just coming to run for office or to take cabinet post. All right? Because that's the assumption. There are even greater benefit. I want Liberians who today hide their passports and this and that run the risk of being exposed, or if any government wants to come chasing them, take away their citizenship because they got evidence against them. I want that ability of government to be removed. So nobody can take that citizenship. So you can own land, you can inherit land, you can hold your 2 passports and walk in the street. Moreover, you don't have to hide anything. You don't have to pay for visa to go. You can do all those things. Then you can vote. Importantly, right now.
And you said those are greater than those positions. My second question is this.
I said there are greater things than where Anthony Kesselly running for this. Then the second part I said, you have this window. If you are so much eager to be senator, to be chief justice, to be so, go relinquish it quick. You the same human being. Come and run. At the same time, our strategy is our battle will continue for the reduction of the restrictions, elimination or reduction of the restrictions. Constitutional issue is evolution. It's not one day thing. Sometimes you amend some. You go 50 years, this and that, amend some. So I got
your point, Mr. Kesselly.
Thank you.
Now here's my second question.
I'm listening now, but I thought to put a video on.
I know both of us are not lawyers, but there is something called implied repeal. What the Alien and Nationality Law does is to restrict Liberians from having any other citizen, because it says if you did this, you're going to lose your Liberian citizenship. Yeah. Here in Article 28, it says, any person, at least one of whose parent was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth, shall be a citizen of Liberia. Provided, even let's stop that far.
No, don't stop that far, because we need to read the whole content.
The content there doesn't apply to what I'm about to say. Say provided, I'm talking about you and myself. I'm not talking about people who, both parents are Liberian, provided that many such persons shall, upon reaching maturity, renounce any other citizenship acquired by virtue of one parent being a citizen of another country. So the first part I want to deal with, because when this constitution came into force, it says any other law that is inconsistent with this constitution is declared null and void, right?
Thank you.
So by the first part of this article, any person, at least one of whose parent was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth, shall be a citizen of Liberia. That the constitutional lawyers call that implicit repeal. So implicitly, that repealed the Asian and Nationality Law.
No, in fact, it reinforces it. That's what I said earlier.
No, it doesn't, because
the fact that
this constitution came after the Alien and Nationality Law, and now this constitution is saying as far as when your parents are Liberians, at least one, you are a Liberian.
I don't think you
so implicitly it repealed that other law.
I think we in cycles. So when I started, I said our struggle has been from stage to stage. I said the first stage was to nullify the Alien National.
I mean the Constitution did that already.
But you're not listening to me. I said that's what we thought. The way you're thinking, that's what we thought. And so we mounted that battle. But then we found out that the language of Article 28, which is saying I can't allow you to go past maturity to hold 2 citizenship, affirms that Liberia does not accept 2 citizenship. Clearly, I mean, you can go up and down. Otherwise, there will be no reason for that provision. Whether one of your parents who, one of this and that who, there will be no comment because they accept dual citizenship. So they will not tell you must proclaim yourself. You can be, you just remain anything. No. But by virtue of inserting that there to insist that when you reach that age, you must do so, or else you will lose the citizenship. It tells you that the Constitution is not tolerant to dual citizenship.
Right. No, here is why I said that, right? The second part said, provided that any such shall, upon reaching maturity, renounce any other citizenship.
Renounce.
Okay, but listen to this. Acquired, hold on. Yeah. Acquired by virtue of one of your parents being a citizen of another country. Right? Yeah. So, I did not, if you don't acquire citizenship or if you don't acquire any other citizenship by virtue of one of your parents being a citizen of that country, that renunciation does not apply to you.
Yeah, but why should there be renunciation if this country is accepting dual citizenship and multiple citizenship?
No, because one of your parents.
If it was accepting citizenship, you already were born here. You are born on the soil.
No,
one of your parents.
The dual citizenship is not accepting, is the citizenship you acquire by one of your parents being from another country.
Yeah, but the question here is citizenship. So even that person can hold citizenship to the parent can remain citizen of his country and be citizen of Liberia if dual citizenship is there. And so
I don't understand that.
Let's say your father now is competent to hold his if the law was tolerant to dual citizenship. That father will still be a Liberian citizen, having come from another country, he will maintain Liberian citizenship, and his citizenship in another country will still be standing. Both of them will be standing. There will be no conflict because our law will be favorable to dual citizenship. The only reason why they put that prohibition, that if you read that, it is because the Constitution didn't want to accept somebody with more than one citizenship. We can go on forever, but I'm not able to argue any other way. But
okay, thank you.
That's why we went to how do you call it? The Constitution itself to go by referendum and kill the issue once and for all than to go tweak a statute that tomorrow few legislators can come again and twist it around, this and that. That's it. That's what we are doing and talking about. The Constitution has supremacy.
My position of no is to get this particular proposition back on the decks. And I know that the citizen will vote no. If you are a strategist, you are in an organization, you are a leader, and your lenses should be sharp. Your lenses should be sharp. In your discourse, you said we had our mission, we had our document, we carried it to the national legislature, and the national legislature looked at it for long. They said, these are the things you are representing us. These are the things that we're going to put in that document. Didn't you even reflect that these things will create division in the country? And you say no. So you agree?
Thank you for your question.
You see, John.
Was there a question?
Brazil, is it John and Brazil? The fact here is we are Liberians. The current Constitution, 28th article, protect us. The Constitution, current Article 28, make it clear about parents. Make it clear about maturity. Mr. Anthony Kesselly trying to trash the wordings about inherit or inalienable rights. These are the same words that were taken from the current Constitution and put in this proposition. So he is telling us that now that those words mean nothing. It means nothing. I see the other side of him that put this thing in our throat and then we'll take 50 years later. For me, I say no, because it is not in the best interest of the country. The way the country is configured the diverse relationships, sweetheart deal that we are enjoying, this particular proposition will divide us to the fullest. And for us who are advocating for a no vote, we know that we're going to win. We definitely know that we're going to win, because those that are in Liberia now, they are complaining. They are saying, but what is this?
Let me say something.
No, hold on, Mr. Kesselly. I have a question for Mr. Doe before you come in.
Mr. Kesselly, once more. Let me go my time too.
I'm listening.
Mr. Doe, what is it? Oh. Mr. Doe, you support dual citizenship, right?
I support dual citizenship.
So what is a clear bill for you? What is the way forward?
Here's the way forward, John. Hold on a second, John. Let me position the thing. The thing is entangling. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Oh my God. Okay, good. There's the way forward.
What is a good proposition for you?
The good proposition for me, a way forward, will be to kill that one and take that proposition, take our document that we submitted. We can negotiate, take our document that we submitted and call the county organizations.
No, I'm not talking about the process. Forget the process. I'm talking about a clean bill for you. What is it?
The clean bill for me, president and vice president, the rest, they'll leave it open. That's a clean bill for me. A dual citizen should not be president of the country, should not hold a position, and when we go further, should not be defense, because those you can't be defense minister, because this is what we started. So
if the question is about the restriction, why can't you accept this one so that you can use your vote now? You have the right to vote, so you can use your vote now and make whatever changes you can make, including voting out senators who don't agree with what you want.
You know why I cannot pay $10,000 or 15 how to go is that $1,500 just to go vote in the first place. I will not accept this, because it will be very, very, very difficult, for us to even come to where we are.
Okay, so if you vote no,
I embrace our advocacy for dual citizenship, but our mission, it was not what we wanted. That is why we are saying no.
If you vote no,
why we are saying no. The restrictions are too many. The Alien Nationality Act has not been repealed, and this particular bill. How many laws our legislature historically, our legislation law, our legislature have created? How many laws? The Constitution say?
My question is, if you vote no today, how long is it going to take before this comes again?
Oh, that is the reason they just push it. They say it will take 10 more years before it comes again. Nothing wrong with that. That process, that advocacy.
Thank you.
Involve everybody.
Thank you, Mr. C.
Involve everybody. You know, 10 more years, because they say, 10 years.
I had some points, some very wrong information. Mr. Doe is surprisingly letting out here as someone who has served as Secretary General for EULA. Like, it makes me afraid.
But no, but Kesselly, don't make such an accusation. Don't comment.
Mr. Doe, it's time for Kesselly to speak. Let Mr. Kesselly go ahead. Go ahead, Kesselly.
For a top EULA
official, opening up wounds now. Go ahead.
For a top EULA official to say, you were supposed to involve counties, you were supposed to. Where were you, my brother? Where were you when we lobbied county organizations to even contact their legislators? I mean, for people to do work, and someone who were absent to just come and sit and say, well, they didn't do that, they don't do that, they were parochial, they go looking at their own. You know, it hurts, but anyway, we've been schooled in this. But I'm shocked that he doesn't know the many Grand Jury Association in Yanu for the country association to even take membership in EULA, for them to lobby how we went around, how we have attended their programs, how we have invited them to come become members of National Leadership Council in all this battle. For a top EULA official to come say, act like none such thing happened. Now, let me just say this. The only thing Mr. Doe and his group of people argue is to fool the people like, okay, we get no bylaw right now. So they position that it bringing problem. Everything fine right now. They're not telling the people that, look, the situation right now is grave. Right now, if you are proving to be a citizen of Liberia who has citizenship elsewhere, you're not even entitled to vote. You can't even vote. You're not supposed to vote. I'm talking about people who hide and go concede themselves for perjury and do all the paperwork hiding. Those are violations. It's just nobody behind it to prosecute. But the law currently is terrible. Nobody will tell you Proposition 1 is more terrible than the state of affairs right now. And that's the kind of argument they make.
It's eminent.
Yeah.
If I may, now that you have this the proposition up for referendum, and you have this restriction therein, the idea of enforceability comes in. These restrictions, have you taken into consideration how they will be enforced?
Okay. As far as I'm concerned right now, they are enforced right now as we speak.
Okay.
Throw the proposition in the dumper, throw it away. That's the law right now. You are dual citizens, you're not entitled to vote. You can't hold any of these government offices that are named. Okay? Natural life citizens can enjoy them. You can enjoy that. The current situation, put Proposition 1 one side. When Proposition 1 comes, it firstly makes you have the right to vote.
To vote.
He has the right to vote. And the brother was saying they didn't mention president, vice president, and that time he got disrupted. I just wanted to say when they say national elective office, all that one inside. President, vice president, what inside, because they are elected. So this proposition will hand us certain law, my man. And the Supreme Court just amended the alien nationality law. Yeah. How long it took? Before, it was automatic. If I show you the procedure by which you lost your citizenship, valuable thing like citizenship, the procedure was so frivolous that nobody needed to come to you, Ansonia, to ask you, is this so? There was no way. They just rob you, they say certificate of revocation. The Supreme Court has amended that part. And so,
right.
But the Supreme Court knew with that provision, Article 28, it could not squash the dual citizenship issue in its ruling. Because the Constitution stands there, saying if you read the A, will not allow you to go on without your two citizenship. You must choose one. So that means it's not tolerant towards it. So it was left standing.
So His Eminence, for those who have this...
Let me conclude. If we do what Authur Weah is saying, that, okay, let's just go repeal. If anybody follows him, the place you repeal it is in the legislature. You're not going to be on this focus on Liberia and this and that. It got to be in the legislature. The people that go there will have this say. The democratic process say the people give them that power to go do that on their behalf. Some people can describe them as criminals, as what this, what. Yeah, I agree to all of that. I'm not disputing that. But they are your legislators now that have that gavel. So I see the fear in Authur Weah, and I see his recognition of the fact that the dual citizenship thing is not a popular thing on the ground in Liberia. Because he's saying, if we pass Proposition 1, it will take another 50 years or 100 years. What makes you think we're not going to have a friendly legislature? People who are more tolerant to dual citizenship. That's all we need. More persons in the legislature that are open to dual citizenship.
Eminent, let me ask my question. There is this critique of those of you spearheading this advocacy that you are settling for less because the proposal as it is was not your original intention. You are settling for less because they gives you now, or any Liberian who has another citizenship, the opportunity to go around with 2 passports. This is not why you intended it.
And not just going around 2 passports. There are many other benefits.
So what difference does this make when in fact people are doing it anyway?
Oh, okay. Then we can say, my people, whether after we are doing, wow, what the battle will be fighting over the year, it was nonsensical because they're doing nothing about it. So why bother? Let's just leave it.
All right, let me come to Mr.
Okay.
Weah.
No,
yeah, please, man, please.
But you answered my question, Kesselly.
We would have said so, but because we are men of conscience, we don't want like how the army was in America.
Right.
Don't ask, don't tell about gay politics. Don't leave it. Don't ask, don't tell. People were not satisfied because it's dehumanizing for me to be going to my country and having my other paper there and lying, that at this, when I go for confirmation, I just took a swearing ceremony in Washington, D.C. as American citizen. They asking me on the floor, I say, no, I hold no citizenship to any other country. We lie. We do that. And we feel that is the one that's comfortable for us, is the best scenario, that after we are done, they want to leave it like that. That's their concept. That's not my concept of fighting a battle.
Thank you, Mr. Doe. I'm coming to you. Mr. Doe, hold on. I'm coming to you. You just listening to His Eminent Kesselly. With this proposal, when it becomes law, Liberians who hold citizenship of another country will travel with 2 passports, one for their original country and another one for the other. They will be in no violation whatsoever.
They can
this
own
is
land.
a good thing. Why are you against it? Because you being against it would mean that you are encouraging Liberians who are hiding and carrying 2 passports, which is a violation of the law. So what do you want?
Before I answer that question, I want to comment on the eminent.
Let's go to the issue, Yado. Let's go to
We can't go to the issue where the man condemned me as Secretary General.
I didn't.
I just want to let him know. That this particular dual citizenship, it is ULA advocacy, but as Secretary General, we have no report on this dual citizenship. It was a 2-man show that was going on and on and on up to now. There is no report at all about this particular dual citizenship. Fast forward.
It's not the one that we were fighting.
I still going on with two passports, bro.
Mr. Kesselly, can you go let him answer my question, please?
He's not referring to this wetty time. We're talking about where Kupi Delta were wetty on our president.
His eminent, Weah has a floor. Let him answer my question, please.
Go ahead.
As far as I am concerned, I serve as 2-term Secretary General. I have no records about dual citizenship and issue. No records.
Let us stick to the issue.
Come back for the
All right, I agree. Let's go ahead.
Let me get to you.
Yeah.
Mr. CA.
Yes.
Currently, many Liberians here in the diaspora who hold American citizenship, they are also in the government, working in the government. Nobody questioning them. Mr. Kesselly.
You were approved one and they didn't question.
Kesselly, please hold on. Mr. Kesselly, please go. Are they in violation or not, Mr. Doe? Are they in violation?
They are in violation. They are in violation.
Thank you.
They are in violation of the Constitution.
And so how do we correct that? How do we correct that? How do we correct that? Or don't you think the preposition will correct that?
The preposition as it is, as we speak, it will correct that, but it will restrict many Liberians.
But Mr. Doe, in the proposal I read to you, the option therein for a Liberian to occupy any position in government, in other words, removing that restriction, that is to relinquish your other citizenship, then you will not have to deal with the restriction.
Mr. CA.
Yes.
Mr. CA.
Yes.
founding father, those who came from the United States and settled down in Liberia. The whole citizenship of America, people going to Liberia.
We're talking about current law. We're talking about current law.
They serve as.
Can you please be patient? Let me finish with him.
We'll come to existing law.
Why are you interrupting?
It's eminent. Please stop interrupting. Hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Doe.
They had their law those days. They had their law those days. We have our law now.
It's eminent.
Even the 1986 Constitution provide it stay the same. Some of our senators, they hold two citizenship. They have naturalization in the passport and all is clear there.
A lot, but I don't know.
Hold on, Mr. Kesselly. Mr. Doe here.
Can you just be patient? Let Mr. Doe respond.
You see, they cannot deceit. They cannot deceit.
Mr. Doe.
The kind of deceit that is going on that we should accept. That is creating the problem amongst us Liberians. These guys who are shoving this thing into our throat, they fail big time. They don't want to allow their failure. They don't want to accept it. They fail. We sent them to do a particular job.
Don't make it personal. Let's stick to the issue.
No. Let me bring.
We are speaking to the issue.
He was in Eula throughout they resigned. He never
Mr. Kesselly, you are interrupting.
Kesselly interrupting. I don't interrupt him. Why are you interrupting me?
They want to be able to follow your argument. This is a very serious national discussion. Exactly. So let's stop the interruption. We will definitely.
So Mr. Doe, let me rephrase the question this way. Has it stand Liberians who hold another citizenship cannot hold any appointed position in Liberia that requires confirmation. We saw that when with the president of the Maryland University, the Tubman University, when she admitted that she had another citizenship, that was the end of the confirmation. As it stands, Liberians with other nationality cannot vote. They are not supposed to own land unless you are hiding your American nationality or unless you are not sued yet. Are you saying we should hold these things as is? Because your argument here is there are people in government who have other nationalities. Are you saying we should do that? We should continue with the don't ask, don't tell?
It is not the don't ask, don't tell. It existed during the process of the dual citizenship when some of us served as Secretary General. It didn't change until we left. It was a total don't ask, don't tell. We wanted to reconfigure the dual citizenship committee. It was a total don't ask, don't tell. So I don't know why the eminent is talking about don't ask, don't tell.
Which EULA is that? Which EULA
is that? It should mean that way. Because if anybody can prove that I'm being appointed as education minister, anybody can prove that American citizen, I'm disqualified right away. Is it how you want it to be for now? Because it's been like all along.
I want dual citizenship. Let me make it crystal clear. I want dual citizenship. But the manner in which the process took place and landed on the president there, it was something that was not done properly. It was the same thing. Kesselly is saying that why can't this pass and we wait 150 years? Why did they pass? But they were afraid. Listen to me now. They were afraid. They were afraid for it to go another 10 years. This is why they put it.
I didn't say that. I don't even think it would take 3 or 5 years.
But I was Secretary General. I didn't know that this was going to the president. I didn't know. Many people that didn't know. All the people that say he called the president.
That you like to get to the president. That you like to get to the president.
There are people listening.
Eminent, you got to exercise restraint. Yeah. You have to exercise restraint. There is citizens issue.
Now you like that takes it to the president. If you don't know legislative process.
I work in the legislature. So you don't have to tell me. I have to work there. I serve in the administration at higher level too. And I wrote documents. You don't even have to go there to tell me that. I did serve in the national legislature, if you don't know. Okay? So I know the process.
I don't know. We who say you there.
I don't know. His Eminence, what you're doing is not proper.
Are you send me there?
There are people that are listening to us. They cannot follow the conversation. This was intended.
But y'all hold your Eminence. Y'all hold your Eminence. Who want to put in there? What to say? We need the clarity in here.
Mr. Doe.
Interruption is not proper.
We don't want to pass.
I will continue to remind you. You continue to interrupt. Mr. Doe, let me bring this question to you. My question here is that we just learned recently here at Focus on Liberia for the first time that the propositions that are up for referendum require a single majority. And that was shocking. That was shocking. Is that to your knowledge?
Wow.
Is that to your knowledge?
No. No. No at all.
All right, then my first question
I told you the absence of two things.
You answer my question. If that is the case, that means that if only let's say 3 Liberians vote for all the propositions, including the one we are debating today, and out of the 3 Liberians, if 2 vote, that particular proposition will become law. Let me come to Mr. Kesselly. His Eminence, this debate was intended to educate Liberians on where the both of you stand, why they should vote or not vote for this. So the interruption was not okay. I was getting frustrated with that. But thank God you are exercising restraint now. Are you aware of this, Eminent? Are you aware that this proposition or these propositions are up for referendum will go with a single majority? Are you aware of that?
I'm not clear on it, but that is very simple. We just go to the appropriate constitutional provision. It will be there how amendments are done. It's a very simple thing. It's not something too hard to find out. But I am thinking the issue of in the referendum, it should be simple majority. In the legislature, for them to come up, they got to get 2/3 majority of each house for them to come out.
I don't know if that is entirely true. I'm not doubting you. You work there.
Okay,
but I'm saying that to mean that in 2011, when we had another referendum, those referendum were up for referendum, and the decision was that they needed to get a 2/3 majority in order for those propositions to be passed into law. That was the case. And Vanin Sherman broke that news to us here, and we were surprised because throughout this debate on these propositions, we have never heard that. So all Liberians have had a notion that they have to obtain that 2/3 vote in order for them to pass. So that's why I made that statement. I don't know when there was any change today, and Dennis, you can come in here.
Right. I think that went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court explained that. So as it stands, according to Councillor Sherman, if 100% vote for proposition,
it's 2/3 of the registered vote.
Where are you reading that from, Mr. Kesselly?
2/3
amendment.
No, if no vote is over.
No,
2/3 the registered voters.
Where are you reading from?
Article 91, 92. But read 91. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Maybe you read it. You the middleman. You.
Okay, let them find that quickly and read it because it was shocking to me.
It's ratified by 2/3 of the registered voters voting in a referendum conducted by the Elections Commission no sooner than 1 year after the action of the legislature. 2/3.
Yep. So when Vanin Sherman saw that, I was shocked, and I've been searching everywhere. I'm yet to find that, but he broke that.
Article 91.
Yeah, and that's what I know. So Dennis, really, we are winding down here. Let me read something to you here. I'm going to put it on the screen, Dennis. So we have been debating Proposition 1, and we want to know what yes vote would mean, and then what no also means. And according to the Kesselly, it says here what your vote means. Yes, a yes vote on this measure means you have agreed that a person, at least one of whose parents was a citizen at the time of the person's birth, shall be a natural born citizen of Liberia. Such person does not have to reach the age of maturity to decide his or her citizenship. Also, you have agreed that a natural-born citizen of Liberia may hold another citizenship, but shall not qualify for elective national or public service position and the above listed appointive position. But the law also said if that individual relinquishes their other citizenship, then they will be qualified for the position listed above. Whereas a no vote on this measure will mean the constitutional provision shall not change but will remain in the current form. And so that brings me to Mr. Weah. Mr. Weah, this proposal will give Liberians many things, including the right to vote, the right to carry 2 passports, even the right to hold these positions that they're talking about as restricted position. And to do so, all you have to do is to put all the citizenship aside, and then you will be on that ballot, and you will be going for confirmation. Clean slate, isn't it? Why are you having problem with this?
I'm having problem with it because the proposition was not taken to the majority of the people, the voters. It was not taken to the voters. And, in order for you to really pass a law, most especially a citizenship law, the people need to understand what they are voting for. The proper town hall meetings was not done. The referendum, the proponent of the proposal, they knew very well that they never had any chance because the if of the 10-year clause of a referendum was coming closer, and if they don't do that, definitely they will wait for another 10 years. And if we all agree that in crafting policy, most especially when it comes to citizenship, it will require consciousness, it will require education and public relation to the people who are going to vote. If we all agree that we should accept there's draconian restrictions, litany of restrictions in the proposition, why be afraid to take it to the people? Why afraid to take it to the people, to educate the people that this proposition had this litany of restrictions? And do you agree that your brother and sister who are in the United States, who are there for you all day and night, do you agree that he is not a natural-born Liberian, he is not a Liberian? Those are the questions the voters needed to know before even pushing this thing into the voters' throat.
Thank you.
That is why we are so not into this proposition, because as we speak now, Liberians are saying they don't know what is in that proposition. Even some prominent Liberians who are lawmakers, they didn't sign that proposition. We're not calling names here. They didn't sign it.
Thank you,
That particular proposition. You would think that they signed it, but they did not sign it. And guess what?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. Doe. We will come to you for your closing statement. Our time is fast spent. It's eminent. Here's the deal. I know the proposal.
Am I allowed to make a comment on what he just said?
Yes, but after I ask my question. So
okay.
Here's the deal. Yes, the proposal also gave option for Liberians with other nationalities that they should relinquish and then be qualified for these positions that they've been restricted for. But where is the fairness when Liberians, many of whom were born in Liberia and we know to be natural-born citizens, have to go through all these rigmaroles, if I can pull it that way, for lack of better word, before they can be qualified for positions that the fact that they are natural-born citizens, they should be enjoying anyway.
Yeah, thank you. But let me, we are in cycles. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be enjoying, but they did something that the law said don't do. People always eliminate that portion. You went and became a citizen elsewhere. It's not a problem for me, but that's what the law prohibited. You did that. How can you do that and come by and demand like nothing happened, and you should just enjoy it with the other people who didn't? Let's think about that. But maybe I'm about to convince Brother Authur Weah the 2 points he just made. Mm-hmm. He said we're rushing because the 10-year time for referendum was coming. I don't know whether I got him correct. I heard him saying that many times. I want to assure you that referendum is not done in 10 years. It can be done every year. The government get money for it. All the law requires, the legislature must act on it. After that, it must take 1 year before you get to referendum. And I think the basis for that is for people to be acquainted with it, for people to have a chance to educate people on it. So we can have referendum next year, but normally, poor government will take the referendum to the national election or to special election to do all together. But the Constitution says nowhere that it can only happen in 10 years. The census goes 10 years. So we're not rushing against anything. The second one is the bizarre one, where you argue that you know legislative process. I shouldn't teach you it. When I was in your office all the time when you were in the legislature, you say they should have brought it back to you, the stakeholder, to look over it. My brother, when a bill goes to the Senate, you don't go by now when they deliver it, say, you'll give it to me now. And why you're like, okay, you'll give it to me. Let me can't carry it. No, I beg you. Hold on, it's critical. You might understand because you are more sophisticated. But little people will indict us. Also, the young way, and then you don't get the bill back from them. It's no longer your property to bring it back for anybody to discuss. The outcome, you lobby heavily. Whatever the outcome is now, if they will take it, they got a procedure by which they send it to the president. Okay? And they do that, they send it to the president sign. It's not you who taking it to the president. You are just spectator now, or you are resource person. If they need information, they ask you. No, I want people to understand.
Eminent time is fast spent. The last time I read my constitution, it told me that all power is inherent in the people. And they have the right to instruct their elected officials. And so you're telling me that because we send it to them, they get to decide. When the people have instructed them that we want a clean war,
are you noticing your problem?
They are changing it, and you said the people don't have any
Sonia,
power there.
You know the problem we have?
No.
When group all agree on something, we call ourselves the people.
Right.
All the other Liberians, we don't count them as the people. We are now, in that case, the people. So we suppose they do us, we are the people. Everybody else that oppose it, they're not the people. We got to stop that. You can't call us the people, carry them, instruct them. What make all the people? In a referendum, can make something the people say. Until then, that your proposition, you who want it, you want to sell it to the people. When the people go to referendum, it becomes the people thing. Until then, we just comforting ourselves to say the people. When you went around,
that was a good answer. I like that. His Eminence, I like that. That was a strong answer. Mr. Guy, because of time, we couldn't take calls. Can you review comments, and then we'll get a closing statement from our debaters and wrap this thing up, please?
I go to our comment. Mozala Gizi say, Brother Anthony V. Kesselly, thanks for the hard work you and your team achieve. We will encourage our people to vote yes. Alio Samba said, please open the phone line, fellow. Steve Bowler said, thank you, Mr. Doe. That is what you say is a reasonable bill. Kesselly and the rest are not thinking about the future. They think this is about accomplishing a temporary mission. Dave just said, no, Mr. Kesselly, it is not about job. It is about my right as a bona fide citizen. Gako Moe says he agrees. I support Authur's position. Proposition 1 is discriminatory. It only controls the right to natural born citizens and not naturalized citizens. Those are a few of your comments, Mr. Sia.
All right, Mr. Jad, thank you so very much, folks in cyberspace. Again, we want to apologize that we have gotten feedback from most of those who follow us here. They want us to cut the time of the show to at least 1 hour, 30 minutes. And so we are sorry that we could not take phone calls today. We could only read a few comments. To our fellow debaters, I think you came here to do it, and I think you did what you could do best. We appreciate that. At this time, we will take closing comment. We started with Mr. Authur Weah, so this time we'll come to His Eminence. Mr. Kesselly, your parting statement, and you have to conclude why we should vote yes on Proposition 1.
Thank you very much. As I've said, I just capping what we just talked about.
Exactly.
The current state of affairs is severe. Constitutional process is by evolution. Constitutions evolve over time.
Yeah.
Laws evolve. They can be changed today. When the society is not ready for it, they will not be changed. As time goes on, you lobby and it gets changed gradually.
Right.
What we are getting today is the cardinal part of dual citizenship. Firstly, for Liberia, for the first time since 1973, to accept the concept of dual citizenship. That's the one that's in the proposition. The other issue of restrictions that are there are nothing any of us favors. But nobody should make it like the world is coming to an end. If Proposition 1 passes, then that's the end of changes in any constitution. So we can have, it's like you outside a ring. You say, they house here for us, I have to enter. The people inside say, you're not entering. Just fight. Finally, you push them to argue that, okay, you can come, you'll be in the living room. He said, no. When I come, I got to go in the bedroom. If I am going in the bedroom, I stay here and die. That's the kind of argument the other people are having. We are going to have a giant step, like going to have the right to vote, to own land and openly own their other citizenship, to inherit land and not be hiding, to go, anywhere as Liberian citizens who are citizens of another country. So we will end up. Without that, right now, people are just in that dehumanized form, hiding, lying, even though they're escaping. So some of them feeling comfortable, they feel that it's normal, but it's not normal. The law is not there for you. The proposition will bring you one step forward. It's not the end. Now, lastly, to conclude, one of the reasons in my fear that this proposition may go down is this. There is a large group of people who firstly hate dual citizenship. They don't want to make one step forward. They're going to vote against this proposition anyway. So if we who are already supporting dual citizenship reject this first step and add on to those who don't even want you have that dual citizenship for you to hold passport. One time there's somebody who's a big cabinet minister right now. He's a big, powerful person. He went on public radio when we're having town hall meeting. He said, for me, if I catch anybody with Liberian passport, then I see you American passport, it can be just, I'm going to lock you up, I'm going to be you. So that will diminish, that will evaporate. We will have our entitlement to two citizenship, but the restrictions, we can continue battling. 2023, we can have another referendum if we are able to convince the legislators. Let us stop pausing the legislators for their position. Let us stop dismissing them as this, as that. Ultimately, if we elect you, after we are doing Anthony Kesselly and send you to the legislature, that's how you will be there, you'll be lawmaker. So let us rally. We who support dual citizenship, let us not divide ourselves on this issue. It doesn't hurt you if that law comes into effect. It doesn't, it helps. It doesn't hurt one bit. It doesn't help. It only helps.
Thank you.
Being the way we are is disastrous. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a strong closing there by His Eminence Anthony Kesselly. Mr. Weah, your closing statement. And again, we can say to you enough for coming and honoring our invitation. Thank you and thank you. So, Mr. Doe, why no to this proposition that will give all of the things Kesselly talk about? Why no?
Mr. CA, and thank you again. I really enjoy, despite the interruptions, I really enjoyed the show. We are saying no to the proposition for the fact that Liberians on the ground were not educated enough to know what is in this draconic bill, the litany of restrictions in there, because it is not something the supporters want to explain to the people, because the people will resent them vehemently. And this particular proposition that we are discussing, dual citizenship, we all want dual citizenship. We love dual citizenship. We want dual citizenship like others in our neighborhood. But we want to know to do it. We want it with a process that will not divide us, that will not create that deepening division. We are already polarized. Our debate are already polarized in the diaspora and on the ground. We don't need any preposition with these litanies of restrictions or to divide us continuously. The fact that this proposition was discussed and it went to the national legislature, we had our position, and we should have stuck to our position to make sure that we get things done. What that we agree that there will be restrictions when, in fact, we decided the advocacy. But the fact that our the supporter of Proposition 1 are telling us that if you are going through the process of legislature, the legislative process, when you're going through there, they don't ask you any other question. You who presented this problem, they don't ask you any other question. I say no. They will come back to you. They will come back to you. These are, you will agree. You will agree. They say, no, these are the things that we are going to do. These are the restrictions we are going to put on you guys. And it is left with you, the leader, to say yes or no. But because you want to divide us, you want to make sure that Liberia remain divided at this crucial time. So you say, just push it. Push it. You didn't educate the people. How are it going to be? You told them you push the legislation, whether they like it or not. We will say yes. But for some of us, we knew last minute of time that they still were going on the president's desk. So when we got to know, we came on VOA, we vehemently opposed it. Up to now, we are still opposing it. So I'm appealing to my people in Liberia, my friends and my relatives in Liberia, the Liberian people on December 8th, show your vote of no to this draconic, this litany of restrictions in this proposition, and send it back to the recycling bin so that Liberians can enjoy once more that camaraderie, so that we can redo whatsoever we didn't do right. Thank you, Mr. Sia and John. Thank you to your listening audience to afford me the opportunity to be here tonight. And I calling again my people, vote no to Proposition 1. It is not in the best interest of the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Donaja?
Thank you, Mr. Doe. Thank you, Mr. Kesselly, for the discussion tonight. As regards Proposition 1, which is on dual citizenship. From what I heard, both of you support dual citizenship. Mr. Doe is critical of the process and the restriction, which he called draconian. And as a result, Mr. Doe wants the Liberian voters to vote no. In my view, that's throwing the baby away with the bathwater. Mr. Kesselly is saying the restrictions are there. We don't like them, but that's what we got. So let's take baby steps. And maybe we can go back to the referendum in 2023 because the benefits outweigh the restriction. I think both of them have presented their case to the voters, and we'll wait and see. But we can't thank you enough for coming and making this very explicit.
Thank you.
All right, folks in cyberspace, we want to dearly thank you so very much, as always, for watching our broadcast here. We brought you yet another focus on Liberia debate on dual citizenship, aka Proposition 1. You're listening to the debaters, but this is what I got from them. His Eminent Anthony Kesselly is accurate. One step in the door grant access to the promised land. That is why he's saying, because he's saying that one step in the door grants you access to the promised land. And even that little access gives you the right to have that two passport that you ever wanted. And he's saying to you, you can own land, you can vote, you don't have to hide anymore. As for Authur Weah, he said, what is not done right is not done at all. Because in the first place, we want a clean dual citizenship bill with no restriction thereof. And he's arguing that our friends succumb to the lawmakers. The lawmakers were supposed to do what we have asked them to do. And then they change things overnight. And you are telling me we should take it. It's like settling for peanuts when in fact we have the right as Liberians to eat that palm butter rice that I like so much. Authur Weah is not buying it. That is what I got from them. And so we will close by saying there is a song that will unite all. That's part of the disagreement that we have here in this debate. And that song, Dennis knows that song very well.
Mr. CA, I have something.
Yeah.
Even though this is unrelated, but something has been bad. I've been thinking about something I want to share here tonight.
Do that.
You know, in Liberia, we put too much power in the presidency.
Okay.
So both those in government, those out of government, and even the ordinary people, look at the president has what I call a small God.
Okay.
And I've watched president after president, I watched it. So I thought about something this morning and I'm going to read it.
Do that.
Listen, when a hooligan throws a rock at an opposition member, he says, the president did it. When a cabinet minister does his work well, he gives the glory to the president. When a government official gets caught stealing, he says, the president sent me. When the rain falls to help the crops grow, a happy farmer gives the credit to the president. When a member of the ruling party bites the dust, he blames everyone else except the president. When a confidant eats and his stomach is full, he asks the president to be a well-intentioned dictator. When the president laughs, cries, sings, or falls, everyone in his team supposed to do likewise. Is the president God? That's what
On that note, folks, this is how we will end the broadcast here. And I remember the guy called Samuel 12 who told us about something called benevolent dictator. I think that's the line that Danny was trying to bring in here. But again, the song that unite or despite of this divide, it says, we are all Liberians. Irrespective of whether you're voting yes or no, we are all Liberians. Listen to that song 1 minute and tell Dennis Jad thank you. Bye-bye, folks.
Peace.
We are Liberians.